explain my obvious weight loss efforts, tracking, weighing food, weighing yourself, listening to Half Size Me podcast to my children, 10-year-old triplet boys, without enforcing that dieting is okay. It's difficult because I don't want them to grow up with food issues. Yet they see me focusing on controlling my food, although I don't discuss weight loss or dieting with them. Should I just be honest with them? Great question. So I personally just had this conversation with one of my coaching clients not that long ago. She said, Heather, should I let my son or daughter listen to the show? What are your thoughts on that? My thoughts are kids and they don't really need this information unless they do when they get older. So I would not go out of my way to expose them to a bunch of diet weight loss talk if at all possible. Personally, my kids don't listen to my show. so that just gives you an indication. They are not the audience. I'm always directing everything towards the moms and towards the families, the adults in the family, because you're the one that has the dollar, the buying power. You're the one that makes the family decisions. The kids do not, below the age of 18. You can drive this very much so, as much as you can. There's a lot of factors that are outside of your control as a parent. Obviously, they go to school, they're exposed to their friends and their families. But within the realm of your control, you have a lot of say right now. What I tell people is don't make the focus weight loss. It really shouldn't be weight loss. It should be, and this is what I tell my kids. I coach people all day long on learning to parent themselves. That's what I tell them. I say a lot of the things I work with you on as my children, I am working with 40, 50, and 60-year-old adults on because they are not doing it for themselves, putting in healthy parameters, saying no to eating too many treats. It's not about weight loss. It's about creating healthy boundaries and personal rules for yourself that govern how you live your life. And what we do is when we become adults, we kind of take the hands-off approach. Wait a minute, I'm an adult. I can do what I want. Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want as an adult. But just as I tell my kids, when you're over the age of 18, you can get arrested for things that right now you just get get some kind of privilege taken away for, right? Or maybe you lose something. But when you become an adult, that changes. And it changes when it comes to your health and wellness. We are not parenting ourselves correctly. That's why the weight got out of control. Now, what I would tell my 10-year-old is, hey, I'm having to parent myself. I'm having to figure out kind of how to eat my vegetables more often, how to eat more lean protein, how to eat less candy and fun foods and actually have a healthy balance. And I would be, when we talk about being honest, that's the kind of honesty I would be coming at it with, from the standpoint of I became an adult. I didn't manage these things well. They got out of control. And never once do you have to mention the word diet or weight loss. That my eating behaviors were not the way that I think that ultimately is the healthiest. I was kind of doing things as I would if I was a kid and not being responsible with my eating. And now I'm really working hard on becoming stronger, healthier, so I can live a long life, which means eating more fruits and vegetables, which means eating more lean protein, which means moving my body more, right? And in that discussion, there's nothing about dieting or weight loss. And that's exactly the way I would keep it. And then as they become older teenagers, as they start approaching 18, because I just had this question for an Ask Coach Heather episode where I've got a 17-year-old boy who's, the mom's very concerned he's overweight. He's not really managing his weight. Maybe 17, 18, if they're really struggling, talking to them about maintenance. How do you maintain this weight you're at? Because if they really see that their weight has been progressively increasing, the very first important thing to discuss with them would be how to stop that from happening. But when you're talking about somebody who's about to be going into adulthood and going into college, and they're going to be tempted with a bunch of different things all at once, that might be the one demographic I would say, if you haven't directly talked about it, that might be the one to do so with. But really young kids, there's no need. If they know, wait, oh, mom's just kind of parenting herself here. She's trying to give herself some healthy things, just like she tells me I need to eat my vegetables. She's trying to eat her vegetables, right? And so I wouldn't worry about any of your stuff. And again, you probably don't push, and most parents don't, They don't tell their kid, hey, I'm updating my spreadsheet on my budget. Maybe you're a parent who does, I don't know. But most parents don't do that. You don't say, hey, I'm doing checks and balances here to make sure that everything's clearing the bank and we're not in the red, we're doing good financially. Well, that's kind of like managing your calories. It's just like managing your budget. And unless you're somebody who does that with your kids, and maybe you are, maybe that's something that you don't mind sharing with them, but most parents don't do that. They say, okay, my finances are private, they're my personal business, my money is my money. So in a way, that's kind of how I think about my calorie budget. I would never show my kids, here's how many calories, and this is me tracking calories. That's none of their business. They don't know if I'm tracking in QuickBooks or if I'm tracking in MyFitnessPal, which I do on my phone, both, all the time. So that's what I want you to think about. There is no don't have to worry about being lying or deceitful. Be honest. But be honest from the standpoint of the bigger picture, not the details. So we can get caught up in I'm tracking calories, I'm weighing food, I'm trying to lose weight. Those are the details, okay? But grand picture, what are you doing? You're parenting yourself. You're teaching yourself lessons that either you used to do when you lived with your parents that you let go of, or the ones that you never were properly established that you're having to teach yourself now as an adult. Maybe you never learned how to cook. Maybe you never learned how to portion out food. Maybe you didn't learn how to eat your vegetables. Now you're getting the opportunity to do all of that, right? So that's how I would handle that question.